Hello folks, and welcome to another video. Let me adjust the camera here. There we go. Alright, so it's been a while since I smoked one of these. I got like about a box of 20 of these, and of course I kept them. I could have put this in my regular humidor because again it doesn't really smell like bourbon. It's a diesel whiskey roll rabbit hole. It says a bourbon barrel aged, so it's not really, it's basically it's old I guess old bourbon barrels that the like say Jack Daniel and things like, and those guys like them, they have I guess old barrels that they no longer, or old barrels that they throw out. I guess guys or companies like Diesel will buy them, and yeah, it smells like a regular cigar. So yep, there you go. So I took the foot band off. So there's a foot band on here. I don't really care foot band because you got to take them off. I guess they're more for selling points. You can't smoke it with the foot band on unless you don't mind having, burnt paper. Nice smooth draw actually. And with as much rain as we've been getting here in Texas, at least North Texas, Dallas area, it should be really humid. Of course, got my AC blasting, so. Yes, price of electricity. Was it a few months back? Well, actually about more than a few months, about 4, 5, 6 months back, and you got the the greenies thumbing their nose at us. Hey man, electricity. Hey man, I just ruined that. Hey man, can't afford gas. Gasoline's expensive for your car. Buy an EV. At first they're saying buy a Tesla. Then they kind of like the Tesla. Or Elon Musk thing with Twitter, so they switched to buy an EV. So now you can't afford gas and you can't afford electricity. Yeah, of course the German government's talking about bike or walk to work. I don't know about Germany, but here in the U.S., the average commute is about 20 miles. Yeah, you may have some people who are lucky and live a few miles from work where they can actually walk or bike, but the majority of us, or about 20 miles to 30 miles from work. And that's mainly because people who do work, most of us are conservative leaning. No, we prefer not to live in downtown, but we work in downtown because it pays good. Companies normally are not out in the suburbs, or at least big companies. Wow, the draw on this cigar is really smooth, really. Now I don't know if the camera switched to the back view. Let me check real quick. Nope. Yeah, I guess to conserve energy or to conserve electrical power, the camera will sometimes turn off the screen. Then like 10 minutes later, it'll turn it back on. So yeah, so today it was thundering like crazy, and I know this probably happened to you too, where it's thundering like crazy, and you're like, oh man, no, I need to get inside, because I was out, cleaning up, cleaning out the garden, doing stuff in the garden. It begins to thunder, lightning. I'm like, okay, I'm out, man. Don't want to get struck by lightning. And then the storm rolled past, because it was. I was going to take a video of it. It was south of me, thundering and lightning like crazy. It looked like something out of the out of I guess a storm video that the people who does, I guess, storms specifically on their channel. But yeah, it rolled through and nothing for me, and that's okay. In the last 2 weeks, actually the last 3 weeks, pretty much the whole of August, got nothing but rain. Yeah, this cigar, at least to me, it's supposed to be mild, but for me, it's strong. For you, it might be a mild cigar. It might even be a light cigar for you, but for me, this cigar is actually strong, and I'll probably smoke it down halfway, maybe a little bit past halfway, and toss it into the garden. Let it be part. Let it be part of the garden. But it is a nice smooth draw, thick puffy smoke coming off of it, as you can see. Yeah, so of course I watched the Trump rally Saturday. Then I watched bits and pieces of the Biden speech. People who bothered to upload it. Somebody here. Let me check. Clean the yard, dog. Yes, I got my Gonzales, Texas "Come Get It" shirt. Or "Come Take It." It's kind of worn. I like this shirt. And yes, yeah. When I was back in school, they taught us. We actually had of course, in each state, rather than your elementary, middle school, high school, they have a whatever state you're in history class. And at least here in Texas, they taught us about the Texas Revolution. And I guess the general consensus is that it started in Gonzales, Texas. So basically, some of Santa Anna's men, I guess there were the people in Gonzales. I guess there was they had a fight, and the folks of Gonzales took one of their cannon. That's why there's there's the cannon on the. Basically, the "Come and Take It," the "Come and Take It" flag that's usually has the cannon on there. The folks of Gonzales, which is a mix of Anglos and Mexicans, they captured one of the cannons of the of Santa Anna's men, and they're like, and of course the Mexican army threatened the folks of Gonzales. They're like, hey, we want our cannon back, and they pretty much said, well, come and take it. That's where the "Come and Take It" was from. The folks in Gonzales then took the cannon and moved it to the Alamo. And I think the cannon is still at the Alamo. If you go, I've only been to the Alamo. And yeah, you specifically go to San Antonio. You specifically go to San Antonio for two things: to visit the Alamo and to visit the Riverwalk. And if you want, there is a pretty nice small like a Japanese garden that's because after a while, you go there a few times, like, okay, what else is there to see in San Antonio? So we start looking and say, hey, there's this little Japanese garden that's about a 10-minute drive outside from downtown San Antonio. When we went to check it out, it's about if you live in Fort Worth, there's also a Japanese garden there. It's about the size of that one. Yeah, the Japanese gardens in the U.S. are not that big. Of course, if you're in Japan, if you go to the one in Tokyo, it's freaking huge. And of course, it's Japan, they got them everywhere. So I think the cannon is there. The cannon is there at the Alamo still. It may not be the original canon. You know, the original canon may be in a museum somewhere that was, you know, for keepsake, keep it safe instead of leaving it out in the rain at the Alamo display. And yeah, so the of course Santa Anna took his. What, I'm trying to remember my history. I think there was 300 something defenders, men, women, and children, defenders of the Alamo, and of course Santa Anna had I think it was, it's either 2,000 or 20,000 men. I think it was 2,000. No, that's got to be more than 2,000, because they you know, if it was 2,000, the 300 and I think 380 something defenders would have been able to defend 2,000 men. I think it was like 20,000 that he bought. Santa, I guess El Presidente / General Santa Anna took to the Alamo. Of course, they killed all the soldiers. Actually, they killed all the defenders because there were I guess some locals actually all of the locals around the towns, you know, because they heard word that, you know, everyone's going to get killed, so it's safer to go to the Fort Alamo. That's basically what it is. Actually, it's a missionary, so it's not a fort. It was Missionary Alamo. So all of the locals that were around the local towns went to the Alamo. Everyone took up arms. They're saying that I guess there were 2 survivors, a woman. Yeah, they killed women too. I guess this woman happened to be hiding somewhere. I'm trying to remember my Alamo history here. So basically, a woman and an ex-slave, or he was a slave at the time. And it was a little boy. I guess he was small enough to crawl in the latrine and crawl his way out. So it was a lady and the little black boy that survived. Everyone else was killed. And of course, you know, at the Battle of San Jacinto, which is like, I don't know if it was the next big battle, was the Battle of San Jacinto, which is of course the battle cry was "Remember the Alamo," because everyone there was pretty much killed. At least all of the defenders. So pretty much anyone, men, women, who took up arms were killed. The soldiers were basically, what's that British saying? No quarter shall be given, none shall be asked. Basically, what happened? Yeah, basically that saying basically, I mean, we're going to take no prisoner, and we ask, and in return, you know, you don't take any of our. No, we won't. It's basically, we won't take any prisoner, and we don't care if you don't take us as prisoners. It's basically what that term means. And yes, you know, since we're talking about revolutions, you know, had the revolutionaries lined up, and yes, and I don't know if they teach this in today's, you know, American history classes, but basically, if the colonists had lined up, you know, in the I guess the line formation, kind of like in the Napoleonic War, where they lined up and traded. You know, traded volleys of cannon fires and rifle fires. And that's the reason why there's so many. If you're gonna be out here, you better not bark. I mean, I got the light in my eye. The yard is dark. I don't know what she's barking at. Of course, the sensor light picks her up. Yeah, it's still early, so she can bark all she wants. But of course, you know, yeah, the mic does pick up the dog's bark. Yeah, she's small, but she's got a big bark. Yeah, and that's why there were so many soldiers maimed and dead during the Napoleonic War, because you know that was the way that they fought back then. Though when muskets first came out, they were, you know, you're not tough, little dog. Come on, you behave. Go inside. Go. Be quiet. Yeah, when muskets first came out, they weren't accurate at all. They didn't have the reach. Of course, during the Napoleonic War was when muskets began to advance, and and of course, the Napoleon army used the grape shots. It's basically a shotgun for cannons, and those are the ones that rip the people apart, and not really the rifle. And of course, the rifle during the Revolutionary War, which I think is a couple hundred years after the Napoleonic War, was the 1700s. Actually, 100 years. Yeah, so it's basically 100 years after the Napoleonic Wars. Giving you guys history lesson here. So yeah, so muskets or rifles have advanced. Well, actually, it's not rifle, because rifle means, the word rifle means the barrel is rifled, and of course that term has just been used for pretty much any long barrel guns. But you can't. But I guess you can't call muskets back then rifles, because their barrels weren't rifled. Or if you look down a barrel, it looks like a screw. Someone took a big old screw and screwed it in and screwed it out, and you see it, kind of twirling down. Or actually, it's called rifling. I guess the official I guess the gunsmith term would be rifling. Yeah, but of course, muskets have become much more accurate. This is the first time they used snipers. The Americans used snipers, and basically to take out British officers. And of course, the British were like, hey, man, what are you guys doing? You bunch of savages, killing our officers on their horse. It's like, well, he's a soldier on the field. He's fair game. Yeah, and yes, soldiers, officers on the field get shot too, even in today's wars. And yes, there's a reason why. I guess in front line, or if you're in a battlefield area, officers don't wear their officers' emblems or their officers' badge. This is the barking at the neighbors. Yeah, the ash on this is pretty white all the way around. So yeah, so the leaf for the diesel cigar. I'm trying to talk over the dog's barking. Darn bug landed on my forehead. Yeah, so the tobacco came from a rich mineral high soil. Probably, I don't think. Well, the Dominican Republic is on an island, and it is I guess a volcanic island. Let's see, the other one, Honduras. Also, there's Dominican. There's Honduras cigar. I guess it was. I don't know about as of late, but the last few years, Honduras was pretty much the murder capital country of the world. And yes, you can go to Honduras. You can go to Dominican Republic on they have like a cigar tour. So you can go there on a cigar vacation. They have their packages that you can sign up for, which I would love to do, but with the pandemic, traveling is a little hard, and no, I ain't getting the prick. I know I'm not getting the prick just so I can travel to go do some cigar tour. Maybe in a few years when things settle down, I'll do it, but maybe not even then. Yeah. So speaking of revolution, of course, Pennsylvania, we have Gettysburg, where the shot heard around the world was in Pennsylvania. You had Gettysburg in Pennsylvania. I always thought Gettysburg was like in Virginia or something like that, but I guess it's in Pennsylvania. And yes, the North almost lost. It was the what is it? I'm trying to remember my Civil War. But yeah, but there were a few battles that had that the South won, and they kept winning. And then there was like this one battle. It was like, okay, if the South won this battle, and it might have been the Battle of Gettysburg. Had the South won the Battle of Gettysburg, because yeah, I think it was Gettysburg. Had the South won the Gettysburg, they would have won the war. And then of course you had the two burning of Atlanta. There you go. The front screen just came back on. Yeah, I think the camera does that to conserve battery power, but this, you know, GoPro knockoff, the Chinese or Taiwan GoPro knockoff, is actually, other than the funky changing of the settings on its own, is actually not bad. It's on 1080 by 60, I can actually do like an hour and 40 minutes before the battery runs out and shuts off. On 4K, it's about 50 minutes. I can put, you know, I guess if I'm lucky, it might go to like an hour before it shuts off. So it's not bad for battery wise, and it does work if you got one of those battery packs or power banks of the. So if you got like a power bank, it actually, you know, it actually will when you. What I'm saying, if you plug up a power bank, the camera will still run. I know that on some devices or some cameras, if you're charging it, you can't use the camera. I think GoPro, you can, no, it works off external power source too. So if you're, you know, like doing one of those walk around, walkabout videos, which I enjoy watching sometime, you know, it's just something you want to just sit down, relax, you know, smoke a cigar, watch a dude walk around, whether it be, you know, here in the U.S., you know, somewhere in Asia, or somewhere in Europe. You know, yeah, it's just a slow, relaxing video to watch, you know, and you ain't gotta think about much. Yes, I am subscribed to a few of those channels. There you go, it fell off. It does have a pretty small cherry on there, which I will touch up. Yeah, and if you're thinking about buying a Cigar lighter, I definitely recommend this dual torch Cigar lighter. It is you have to flip the top up manually. I know on some brands, it, you know, where you click on the igniter button, the top will come off, but this one you have to manually do it. I've dropped it many times and it's still working. There are some dents and stuff on the top here. I guess that's what it is when I drop it. I guess it's top heavy, so when I drop it, it falls on the head. And yeah, there are dings all all on the top part. But other than that, it's you know, this you know, for me grabbing and touching it, it's the paint has held up pretty well. The blacks on the side are plastic. Now I should do a lighter review, but it is dual torch, parallel dual torch, you can see. And as for the reservoir, I think the reservoir could be bigger, but I got it actually set to the max, and it works. I like it. I recommend that one. For cigar smoke, I don't recommend a single torch. Dual and triple torch will do you fine, but of course you're gonna, oh man, I want to try a quad torch, you know, or you can buy one of the tabletop lighters that has like the big I guess the big flame. Yeah, it's actually almost halfway. Once it gets close to the wrapper here, a little bit closer to the wrapper, that'll be about halfway through. So let me I guess talk about a little bit of current news, and we'll shut the video. I guess we're done with history. Since it is, of course, it's Labor. Yeah, this is a Labor Day smoke, by the way. Yes, and if you see a lot of people wearing these shirts with the I guess the white U.S. flags on the side with the 50 dots for the stars. Mine is actually a lot of folks smokes. We don't know dog. Okay, dogs doing what dogs do, licking their own butt. So, but yeah, but a lot of folks make I guess patriots or conservative, I guess apparel makers. Now, a lot of them will put the. See, this one is 9. I have a few different brands, but anyways. So yeah, so if you see folks wearing this, yeah, that means that they bought it from like a patriot or a conservative apparel maker. A lot of them will put the flag band either on the left or the right shoulder. Yes, and 100% of them are mom and pop shops. So support your mom and pop shops. The t-shirts aren't expensive. They'll run you anywhere from $20 to $30. That's not expensive. That's the average price for a t-shirt basically. Compared to if you buy like I say, right now I guess NFL season just started. I'm not watching it. I usually watch college football. On Saturdays if I ain't got honeydews to do, I'll try to catch a game or two. Like if you buy sports, not even a jersey, but just a regular, a sports team T-shirt, easily run you about $59. Yeah, a jersey will be about $200. A official, team jersey from the NFL. Same, a official team T-shirt from the NFL run you about $60-70 easily. And of course, if you want to buy, a Tommy Hilfiger polo, what's the name, Armani T-shirts. You're looking at 100 is cheap for those T-shirts. 200, 300 on up is normally the normal for those T-shirts. And I have some, but they're gifts. Since I like wearing colognes, folks think I like wearing, those brands of T-shirts. So, yeah, I'll take them as gifts, but I'm not spending $200 on a T-shirt, or even $100 on a T-shirt. Yes, and you see me wearing Levi's T-shirt too. Levi's will run you about, Levi T-shirts are actually pretty cheap. They'll run you about $20 to $30. So yes, so that's why. And I like Levi's. Always liked Levi jeans, and their T-shirts aren't that expensive. It's about $20 to $30. About $29.95. So, and their T-shirts are well made. It's thick cotton. I hate the tabs that they stick on the side. So they don't have tabs in the back collar, which is a plus. But then they go and stick all of those tabs on the side, and yes, and the tabs will rub up because I don't tuck in my shirt. I leave my shirt hanging out, so the tabs are like rubbing up against my side. So yeah, that's but anyways, yeah. So the Trump rally is a stark difference from the Biden rally, and I don't know why those folks, because he's facing like 100 people that's in the stand, and they all got these bright colored like orange, yellow, green, red T-shirts that they're wearing, and the chances of those people coming to his rally, all wearing these bright colored T-shirts, is pretty low. They gave, I don't know why they gave people bright colored T-shirts, but normally folks wear the normal colors of T-shirts are black and a white T-shirt. Yeah, and if you look at, and I actually counted, so it's about 10 rows across and about 10 rows deep. So you're looking at about 100 plus people that's on that stand in front of Biden. Then on either side of him is about 50 people, so 200 people. We'll give them that, 200 plus people. And then behind him was all of the fake news, the MSN. Yeah, so I'm about halfway through here. So let me take this big old band off. And it is one big band. There you go. And yes, it's a stark difference. And then of course his address the nation wasn't even an address the nation speech. It was more of a rant against Trump and Trump supporters. And of course the day after he backtracks. Like, I didn't say that. I don't remember saying that. And then like an hour later, there's two tweets from Biden, which is not Biden, it's his people, Because in the case of Trump, it was actually Trump doing his own tweets. It's Trump doing his own truths. Now that he got hit, yeah, basically, yeah, they told Trump, hey man, you don't like Twitter, you don't like Twitter, go make your own, and that's what Trump did. You tell a billionaire, go make your own social media. Yes, they're going to do it. And I don't know what Elon Musk is going to do with Twitter. He's still in court with Twitter right now. And like I said, there was that I guess ex-CIA guy who's now I guess a electronics expert in the civilian world. And that guy, he did his own little searching, and he came up with a number of 8 out of 10 are bots. And if that guy's finding, and if that ex-CIA guy's finding is true, yeah, then Twitter's in trouble. Because at first, Twitter said, hey man, only 5% of our users are bots, and people, and people who did the initial check. My eyes, yes, I wear contacts, and about once or twice a day I'll put the contact drops in. And then that's the key from the halo effect. Yes, if you wear contacts, definitely buy some contact eye drops. Use them at least once or twice a day. So especially if you're going to be driving at night, put some drops in before you go drive. It will definitely help with the halo. For those of you who don't know what the halo effect is, for contact wearers, is basically when you look at lights like street lights or car lights coming at you, there'll be like this halo around the light, which is really freaking annoying. Yeah. But if the light's up close, like the camera light here, the halo effect isn't that bad. I hear ambulance. Yes, the fire station is about 2 miles from the house, so every time they fire up and go, I hear them. So that's probably them going somewhere. It is Memorial Day, so a Memorial Day evening. Not Memorial Day, it's Labor Day. It's Labor Day evening. Did I call Memorial Day? Yeah, it's Labor Day. And of course, Labor Day is in celebration of the working man and women. No children, don't work. Only in Hollywood. Because I guess you gotta have child actors. But it's okay if kids work, I guess, as long as they're a child actor, right? Yeah, this cigar is getting strong. Like I said, I'll probably smoke it down about halfway, a little bit past halfway. So if you don't see me puffing as much, it's because it's strong. It's getting to me. Then of course he did his, I think the Liberty House, or I think that's what that building's called, the Liberty House, where the Liberty Bell is stored at. So they're saying that the speech was written by I guess Joe Biden and some guy named Ron. So Jill and Ron. I guess this Ron guy is his one. I guess is one of his people. So basically those two. There's some people saying it was those two that wrote that speech. The 24 minutes of rant against Trump had nothing to do with addressing the nation. It was I'm gonna rant on Trump and his supporter for 24 minutes. And yeah, and someone caught him too. They're like, hey, look, if Biden is speaking, who's putting out these tweets? And I don't think that speech of his was live. I think that was pre-recorded. That's and of course there was a guy that you can hear him now that they mention it, because like I said, I watched bits and clips of the speech. I didn't hear it until people mentioned it. And if you go back and if I go back and watch those clips, yeah, you can hear faintly a guy saying F Joe Biden, and people are saying he was saying that through the whole 24 minutes, and he sounds like he's like way off in the distance. So that's probably why they didn't do anything to him, because he wasn't. I guess he was far away enough to where he wasn't in the venue, so they couldn't do anything to him. That's my thinking, is that, you know, maybe he's far away enough where he's not in the venue, so they couldn't kick him out because he's already outside the venue. And of course, the Biden folks were saying, well, the reason we made the dark background with the red lights was to show the darkness of the U.S. But of course, it backfired. I mean, you know, it just ended up making Biden look like Hitler, basically. And of course, the memes didn't even take a day. It was like, you know, an hour, a couple of hours after the speech, the memes came out. You know, a lot of people were putting the swastika in the background. You know, sticking Hitler's face on Biden. And yes, the software technology. There's one where it was actually a video of, like, you know, Hitler's face on Biden's face, with swastikas in the back, and as Biden's speaking, you know, I guess the mouths actually match. So the software has actually, you know, gotten pretty good. And yes, this is software that I guess anyone could buy, if you got, you know, if you want to spend a couple $100 on the software. You calm down. Calm down, little dog. And of course, you know, and of course, all the things that Biden says is pretty much projection. So what we, you know, what evil we've done, we're going to project it on you, because you know, he keeps saying, hey man, you know, the MAGA Republicans, they're a threat to our democracy. You know, they're violent. They're violent extremists. It's like, okay, so show me one violent extremist thing that the Trump supporters, specifically Trump supporters, have done. You know, you can't use the Buffalo shooting, the Uvalde shooting. Yeah, that chief of police, he actually ran off to Mexico. He's somewhere in Mexico right now. Yeah. He's like, I'm out, man. You know, he's like, yeah, because when MAGA takes over, you know, when Trump and his folks take over Congress, they're going to come after me. So he's in Mexico somewhere. I guess I can't think of anything else. So I guess I'll close it on this. So, yeah, this cigar is strong. I'm telling you, it's got to be. You know, they probably used a strong filler, because some cigars will sneak up on you. So basically, what they'll do is they'll put like a strong filler, and then they'll wrap it with like a Connecticut wrapper. So you pick up the cigars like, oh, okay, it's a light brown Connecticut wrapper. It is probably a light cigar or a mild cigar. You start smoking, it's like, whoa, man, what the. This is beginning to hit me, you know, before I even get to halfway. So in Canada, it barely made the news. I stumbled onto it because a YouTube poster mentioned it. So basically, it was you know, some stabbing in Saskatchewan, Canada, and I think Saskatchewan is in the eastern side of Canada, I think. I might be wrong, but if I'm wrong, hey, you know, correct me. So basically, 10 people dead, 15 wounded. So it was 2 guys that went on a stabbing rampage. And of course, the thing with knife is that there's no bang. Kind of like in the I guess about 12 years ago, 15 years ago, that the Akahuraba stabbing in Japan. And of course, after that stabbing, you know, the Japanese government banned the evil-looking hunting knife that the guy used, the Bowie knife. So in Japan, you can't get hunting knives anymore. I don't know if they still do, but for a while, they were like checking your ID, you know, if you were buying knives. Something the dog. No, anyways. Yeah, so with knives, there's no bang. A lot of time you feel like a sharp pain, because I think in Akihabara stabbing it was like 16 dead, 20 injured, and yes, Akihabara is like the guy did it on the weekend, and on the weekends it is jam packed. You're shoulder to shoulder. So if a guy has a knife, he can go through and just stab, 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 and they spoke, and of course the one bug. And of course, the bad guy, and of course, the guy was executed, by hanging. Yeah, in Japan, there's execution by hanging. and they didn't wait, 10, 15, 20 years to hang the guy. He was like, he was on trial. A few years later, his time came up. Yeah, and it is a lot cooler tonight too. It's, there's still bugs around that's pestering me. So they spoke to survivors, and a lot of them were saying, yeah, I felt this sharp pain in my back, or sharp pain in my side, and I didn't know I was stabbed until I felt, or they looked down and they were bleeding. A lot of the folks bled to death. Yeah, because he used a bowie knife or a hunting knife, which is like a 10-inch blade. So if he runs you through, someone runs you through with a 10-inch blade, you're going to bleed out pretty quick, rather it be in your gut or in your chest. But most of the folks bled to death. So it wasn't like he stabbed them and then they fell over dead. It was they unfortunately they bled to death. And it's probably the same in this Sasquatch stabbing spree. A lot of the folks probably didn't fall over dead. They bled to death before ambulance services got there. But of course, since the two guys who did it didn't use guns or I guess cars or trucks. They used a knife, so it didn't make news. Or it didn't make the news. There's like back page news. Whoop. So if you're out and about in a congested area, have your head on a swivel, and if you start hearing people screaming, definitely start looking around. If you don't hear any bang, it could be a guy going around stabbing people. And of course, there was that video of I guess these guys in a stolen Mercedes. It's definitely stolen, because if you got a note or if you paid for that Mercedes, you ain't gonna be using it to ram, unless there's some sort of emergency where, hey, that dude just grabbed my kid and jumped in his car. Yeah, if I had a $100,000 Mercedes, I would be ramming that guy too. So basically, some guy in a Toyota RAV4, a silver or gray, and the video starts off. You hear loud screeching tires, and you see the black Mercedes, ramming into this Toyota RAV4, and the guy's trying to get away, and they ram him like 3 or 4 more times till his car came to a stop. It's New York. This is the bad guy. He jumps out with the gun. He goes to the car and he grabs a bag, and I'm thinking they probably scoped the guy out. He's probably a restaurant owner, some store owner, doing a money run to the bank, because I guess some small businesses, mom and pop businesses, if you hire Brinks to come to your business, it costs money. Brinks isn't free. I know there's a lot of bigger restaurants. If you ever worked at a restaurant, or if you ever worked at a business that does money transaction, if it's a chain store or a bigger store, you'll see, once a day, Brinks truck will, and it is during the daytime, the Brinks truck will show up. The guys with the guns on their hips. One guy will have like a shotgun or a long rifle. They'll come and get the money out of the safe from the store. But I guess if you're a small, kind of like my parents, when we had a restaurant, towards the end, I think it was midday, and towards the end of the day, there was a money run to the bank. and you always, you always, you didn't walk out there with the money bag in your hand. You always put it into like a bag, or put it into a purse, so that if the thieves are scoping out your restaurant or your business, oh, there you go, that's the owner. He's making his bank run. Because I think that's what it was. They probably scoped the business out, and they figured out when the business owner makes his bank run. And yeah, because the guy grabbed the bag. It looked like a small, purse size, a mid-sized purse size bag that the guy grabbed. Some people say, "Oh man, they're going after the guy's Apple laptop, or they're going after his Apple tablet, or his something like that." I was like, "No, man, that's not it. No, these guys scoped out that business. And this is the owner doing a bank run, and they knocked him off and took his money that he's taking to the bank." That makes more sense than them seeing a guy. Oh, look, that guy's got an Apple laptop. Now we're going to use our car to ram him down and take his laptop. And I wouldn't put that past these thieves either, But it makes more sense that this is a bank run, and they took out the owner's car and took his daily or weekly earning. Well, that's it. Enjoy your smoke. Enjoy a cigar, a cigarette, weed where it's legal. Enjoy your vape, and we'll see what. This is Monday, of course, Labor Day, so we'll see what comes up. We'll see what comes up in Chicago. The body count. We use Chicago as the litmus, because that seems to be where. But of course, other liberal lefty-run cities are just as bad. But Chicago is kind of like the litmus of the numbers of dead that shows up there. And I think this midterm is Lori Lightfoot's I guess election for mayor of Chicago. But of course she doesn't have to worry, because if you're installed, you don't got to worry about about losing your seat. So yeah, so she'll probably be the mayor again, unless another Democrat comes up and it's like, hey Lori, you had your turn, give this other guy his turn. We'll install this other guy. You got your money. Take your millions and go enjoy your life. And that seems to be what the rotation is. Hey, you're the mayor. You made your millions. Let this other Democrat come in, make his million, and keep Chicago a shithole. All right. Thanks for watching.